I think me not knowing, me not being able to see what these podcast episodes are translating to, what the TikTok posts are translating to, even with the talk show that I produce, it's like, what am I doing? And I know, cousins. I know what y'all gonna say. Like, it's about the journey, because that's all the shit I be talking. It's about the journey. You gotta focus on the process, not the result. And all of that is true, but I can't lie. I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment to where I just feel like, it is about the journey. It is about the process. However, bitch, what we doing? Like, what we doing? Because I like I said, I'm a Virgo, and everything has to make sense to me. And I'm always looking to better myself. I'm always looking to better myself. I'm always looking to expand and grow. And I just don't want to feel stagnant. I just don't want to feel stagnant. But that's just like my little rant. But anyways, regardless, I said all that to say, bitch, I'm still in the stew. We still in the stew with it. Yes, I'm having these moments. I'm having these moments. I'm having these thoughts. I'm having these feelings, but I'm still in the stew with it. I had to really check myself because, like sometimes I be feeling like this, and then I look at people who have grinded and who have hustled and who have worked their ass off. Nobody handed them shit. And they didn't know where the shit was going either, but they kept going. They kept being consistent. And that's why they are where they are. And who am I to ask for a handout? I'm not about to ask for no handout. So the same way everybody else, all the other people that I look up to have got it out the mud, bitch, that's what I'm going to do as well. That's what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that. But creative funks are real. Creative funks are real. If you are having a creative funk, express yourself, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your community, because that shit is real, and don't ignore it. Don't be fake positive. Like, I don't feel like being fake positive about the shit. Yeah, like, you supposed to enjoy the journey. Bitch, fuck that. I know that, but I'm not trying to be fake positive about that shit right now. I'm not, so, but yeah, what's have y'all been in any creative funks lately? Let me know. I'm also a little under the weather, in case you hear me sound like I'm like holding my nose while recording this episode. Got a little tish, yeah. Okay, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about what I'm confused about today. This is the Confused Creative Podcast, and we talk about consciousness. We talk a lot about consciousness. Consciousness is one of my favorite things to talk about, and I am confused on people's hesitation to learn about numerology and astrology. I'm confused. I know that I already kind of did an episode about this. Shout out to Kimani. We did an episode together called Why Black Men Resist Astrology. But I just want to talk about people in general. Like, why do people in general resist reading about numerology and astrology? And I know that can be like a generalization, because there are a lot of people that fuck with numerology, astrology on a serious level. But for me, I just feel like, the people that I am in community with, when we talk about numerology and astrology, they feel like it's just this woo-woo BS or whatever, woo-woo-woo. Now, a lot of people, the Christians, they feel like, it goes against their religion. And I ain't talking to y'all this episode. I'm gonna be right. I ain't talking to y'all this episode. If that's your reasoning behind being resistant behind astrology or behind numerology and astrology, I'm not talking to you. We gonna get to you later. Actually, go watch the episode with Kimani. We talk about y'all in that episode, but I ain't even gonna talk about y'all. I just want to talk about the people who just think numerology and astrology is a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And I feel like y'all are focused too much on the woo-woo part of numerology and astrology. And what do I mean by that? Okay, boom. Maybe it sounds silly. Your life path number 7 or your soul urge number 6. Maybe it sounds silly. Maybe it sounds corny, but I think we need to focus on the meaning behind it and not necessarily attaching ourselves to the idea and the identity of what your sign is and what your life path number is. For example, if you're an Aries, Aries are known to be very independent, very fiery, very passionate. Maybe you don't relate to that. Right? Maybe you don't relate to every single trait of an Aries person. You don't have to, though. But Learning about astrology helps you understand energy. It helps you understand other people's energy. And I just feel like that's important. That's an important thing to understand. And it can help you in so many ways in life, in business, in friendships, in relationships, in your creative endeavors. Understanding energy and understanding who you work well with and who you do not work well with is very important, and it can help you in a lot of ways. But specifically today, this is not an astrology episode, but I do want to talk about numerology today, because I know we talked about astrology before on the pod, and I love me some astrology, but I want to introduce to y'all the concept of numerology if you aren't already hit, because numerology is, of course, like, the study of numbers. Numbers hold a lot of energy. Numbers are everywhere, like phone numbers, addresses, the clock, like numbers are everywhere. And numerology is something similar to astrology. It's very similar to astrology, just in a different language. Numerology can help you find your career identity, and not just your own career identity, but who you would work well with in your career. We can't do this alone. We cannot do our career alone. We need people, and people need us. So I think understanding numerology and understanding like who we work well with will help you find your career identity. I think it can do a good job at that. So I kind of want to talk about that today. Now, again, I'm not an expert. I am not an expert whatsoever, but this is just fun. Shout out to Astro Finesse. He does not post videos anymore, but Astro Finesse, he's a YouTuber, and he does breakdowns of like astrology, numerology, chakras, just, a lot of spiritual things. I have not seen him upload a video for a while, but he is the one that he's who I go to when I want to learn more about numerology, astrology, and all that. It's the way that he breaks it down, and hearing a Black man talk about, these topics is, you just don't hear that often. So it's something about learning shit like this from your own people. So shout out to Astro Finesse on YouTube. If you want to get a better breakdown, go to his channel. But cousins, I just want to introduce to y'all real quick. Do y'all like my bob? Hold on. Loving the bob. Sorry, ADHD kicked in. Just overall, this podcast, I'm really big on you all understanding yourself. Like, whether this is not even about career, but you just need to understand yourself. You need to understand who you are, because I feel like this society tries to box us in, tries to tell us who to be. And the more you understand that shit is not black and white, it is a spectrum, you can start making a lane for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to make a lane for ourselves. And one last thing, I'm not sharing this information to say that astrology is the end all be all, or numerology is the end all be all. That is not what I believe. But I do believe these concepts and these languages that are shown to us in numerology and astrology are tools. They're tools to give us the language to understand ourselves. It's not meant to be rigid. It's not meant to be like, oh yeah, you're a Virgo, so you gotta act like this, you gotta act like that. No, but it gives you the language to maybe help you describe a part of yourself that you always knew was there, but you could never articulate. Articulation, okay? That's what this shit is about. It's something so liberating about putting words to something that you've always felt, but you just did not know how to say. And that is what numerology and astrology does for me. And then, like, it's not even shit that's my own sign. And I think that's another reason why people are skeptical about the signs and numerology as well. Everything is not going to resonate with you. Just because you're a Leo, that doesn't mean you're self-centered. No, but also you could be self-centered, but astrology is going to give you different words for that and not make you feel bad about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because in reality, Leos, y'all are the sun. Y'all are the sun, and you're meant to shine, and you inspire other people by doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just want so badly for our people to just be more open-minded And this shit is not taught in the schools for a reason. So we got to do our own research. We got to figure this shit out by ourselves. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. Numerology. We're talking about numerology and we're talking about your life path number. And again, I want y'all to know your life path number because this could lead you to your career. This could help you understand what type of career you would fit best in, what type of life you want centered around your career. It can really help you find your career identity. All right. So there are 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 life path numbers. So we have 1 through 9, of course, but after 9, it doesn't go to 10. After 9, we have master life path numbers, and that is number 11, number 22, and number 33. So if you are any of those, you have a master life path number. But today, we're really going to focus on just a simple meaning of what each of these life path numbers are about and what type of career you might have regarding this life path number. First, you need to know how to figure out your life path number. Now, of course, you can do it the lazy way. Type in your birthday into chat or into Google or into whatever and just ask, hey, what's my life path number? Just type your birthday into chat, ask it what's your life path number. It's going to do the calculations for you. Or you can do the math on your own. I'm going to tell you how to do the math. So I'm going to use my birthday, for example. My birthday is 8/29/1995, August 29th, 1995. So what you're going to want to do is break down every number into a single digit. So what do I mean by that? So let's start with the month. So my birth month is 8. So 08, that is already a single number, a single digit. So we have 8. And then we have 29. So I have to make 29 a single digit. So 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 is still not a single digit. So what is 1 plus 1? I'm going to add the 11 together. 1 plus 1, and that equals 2. Next, I need to add 1995 together to make that a single digit as well. So 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5 equals 24. Still not a single digit. We need to make 24 a single digit. So we're going to add 2 plus 4, and that equals 6. Okay, so we have 8, we have 2, and then we have 6. Okay, so 8 plus 2 plus 6 equals 16. 16 is still not a single digit number, so I have to make that a single digit number. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add 1 plus 6, and that equals 7. So my life path number is number 7, and I'm going to explain what number 7 is later. If you need the breakdown, I'm pretty sure there are other TikToks or whatever that can break it down for you. But again, just use the single digit method. The method to getting your life path number is to just getting every number in your birthday to a single digit. So you just keep breaking it down, keep making it a single digit. So boom, now that we figured out your life path number, I'm going to kind of briefly explain what each number is about. So let's start with number 1. So life path number 1, you are here to shine. Number 1, you are here to shine. You are here to be the center of attention, and that's on period. You are most likely going to be a leader, very independent, and very innovative. Also, number 1 is known as the father. It's a masculine energy. It's the father, and you are here to initiate and to create. You are the starter. Now, y'all remember when we were talking about Leo? Number 1 has the energy of Leo. Leo is the sun. The sun is the center of the universe. Now, you may ask, how is this purpose? Like, how do I find my purpose by just knowing that I'm a star? And I know, like, hearing me say, like, oh, you're a star, it may sound a little shallow, but no. You being the center of attention literally inspires other people. I'm going to give you an example. Martin Luther King has a life path number 1. Now, I'm not saying Martin Luther King did what he did to be a star, but Martin Luther King's journey has inspired, we don't even know how many people, but who was the first man that we learned about in history? It was Martin Luther King. Now, think about how many black activists and, people that there were in history that made a difference. We can't even name how many people there are. Like, we don't even know. We don't even know that, right? But Martin Luther King, he had a life path number one. Some people are meant to shine and some people are meant to stand out. Even though Martin Luther King was not the only black activist, he was a chosen one. He was a chosen one that stands out, and he is a chosen one that inspires us. So life path number one, you are here to inspire. You are here to lead. Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement, not alone, but he was the face. He was the face, so life path number one, you might want to think about maybe having a business, maybe leading a movement. Whatever you do, you gonna lead that shit. You are the leader. You're a natural born leader. Again, if you want to, dive more deep into that, study Leo, study what Leos are doing. Also, a lot of performers are life path number ones because, again, them shining encourages other people to shine. I think life path number one is less about specifically what you want to do and just knowing that whatever you do, you're going to shine and you're going to inspire people by you being the center of attention. Again, it's not shallow, it's not vain, it's not stupid. It's just literally your energy and your journey is going to feed other people. You shining is going to help other people. So no matter what you do, just make sure you pop your shit because you are that one. Okay. That's life path number one. Life path number two. So life path number two is kind of the opposite of life path number one. Life path number one is very diplomatic, very balanced, known as a peacemaker, and it has a very strong feminine energy. Think about the sign of Libra. The sign of Libra is, is very diplomatic. It's very peacemaker-like. That's what you can relate life path number two to. So the life path number two is the supporting character. So the life path number one is more of the leader. The life path number two is more of that backbone. Every leader that you see has a backbone. And life path number two, that's what you are. Life path number two has more of a nurturing vibe and a nurturing energy. So if you notice that you're someone that likes to support, maybe you really want to be a parent, maybe you want to be a mom or a dad, this is a purpose. This is a calling. Think about the zodiac sign of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon is mother. It is a very mother-like energy. So life path number one is the father energy, and life path number two is the mother energy. When I think about life path number two, I think about my little sister. She's a Cancer. Her whole life, she's the youngest, and me and my eldest sister, we're a little different. We're very go-getters. We been out the house since we were young. We're super go get to it, go get to the bag, woo woo woo. My sister, on the other hand, is not that she does not have those capabilities, but that's just not her role. That's just not her vibe. She is more of a supporting, loving, nurturing type of person. And I tell her all the time, I don't know if I told her this actually, maybe I should tell her this, but sometimes people have a funny way of making you feel like you're not doing enough, you're not ambitious enough. But if that is not your energy, all the ambition in the world can't save you. And sometimes it's hard to exist and show up in this life when we are in such a masculine and dominant society, when everything is hustle, drive, work, and it's hard to survive in this society. So if you are a life path number two, or if you're like a Cancer like my sister, you have to find something that you like doing that's nurturing, that might be a little on the softer side, but that you can still get to the bag, bitch. Because at the end of the day, we are in capitalism, and you got to still get to that bag. So this is something that Astro Finesse said on his channel. If you're a life path number two, you might like making money from home. Maybe you're more spiritual. Maybe you give readings. Maybe you give astrology readings to people. Or maybe you have a home healthcare business. Maybe you knit. Maybe you do pottery. Whatever it is that you do is going to cater more to a softer, nurturing side. So that's not saying that you're never going to work or you don't have that hustle. You're going to hustle, but you need to do it more in a nurturing way. Maybe you nanny, maybe you take care of children. You got to find that thing that fits you and stop looking at everybody else. You can't look at the life path number one and what they do. That's the masculine energy. You the feminine energy, baby. And I don't mean feminine as in soft for my dudes out there who are life path number two. But again, maybe you just don't resonate to that hustle and grind culture. You have to find what fits you, because like I said, at the end of the day, you still have to work, you still have to make a living for yourself. So you got to find a way to, combine that soft, mothering, nurturing energy with the hustle and grind culture that we have. All right, so that's life path number two. Life path number three, this is a fun one, and three is one of my favorite numbers, by the way. The number three is a very creative number. So people with the life path number three, you tend to be very artistic, very creative, and a very good communicator. Think about the sign of Gemini. That's what the life path number equates to, is like the sign of Gemini. So Gemini, very good creative, very good communicator, very creative, just very fun, very experimental. That's what the life path number three is giving. So if you're a life path number three, you're probably meant to be an artist, whether that is the fine arts, whether you sing, dance, act, you're probably naturally gifted. So your job is to feed those gifts and do that shit. And that's how you're going to inspire other people, is by tapping into your creative gifts, plain and simple. So life path number three, again, it holds the energy of creativity. Life path number three, you're also an amazing entertainer. You probably have the gift of gab. You're probably a really good comedian. So yeah, tap into that, get into that bag. Okay, let's move on. Life path number four. You know what? I've grown a deep appreciation for the life path number four. Life path number four, definitely opposite of life path number three. Not saying that life path number four is not creative, but life path number four is the builder. It is the builder. It is practical. It is structured. It is reliable. It is the number of strong foundation. And I really love this number because in order to have a successful creative career, you need a foundation, period. Like I said, I don't even think this episode came out yet, but I did an interview with a friend and we were talking about how I don't want to be a starving artist, bitch. I want food. I want a house. I want a car. I still want to live a good life and pursue my creative dreams. And that's what I'm going to do. So the life path number four holds that energy of having that structure. You need that structure. You need that anchor. Okay. So the life path number four, it is a little bit more serious. It can be a little bit more rigid. So if you do have the life path number four, you might not enjoy having like as much of a spontaneous career. You might more so want to, have a structured job, know when your paycheck is coming in, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, if you're a life path number four, you will do really well creatively partnering with someone who is a life path number 3 or 5, and I'll talk about 5 later. But life path number 4, you all do really well partnering with someone who might not have as much structure as you, but has the vision. Sometimes life path number 4s, not saying that you lack the vision, but that might not be high on the priority list for you, is the vision. You like structure, you like knowing when you gonna get paid, and you like having that foundation, you like having that food on that table, and that is so important. Life path number 4 is also, it reminds me of Capricorn. Capricorns don't play that shit, bitch. Okay? Capricorns like stability. Okay? Stability and structure. So this number, like I said, is very important because you cannot have freedom unless you have structure. Those two things go hand in freaking hand. So if you are someone that's like a life path number 3, that's more creative and expressive, but you're a little all over the place, you might want to get with the good life path number 4s. All right, moving on. Life path number 5. Life path number 5 is the freedom seeker. Freedom seeker, pleasure seeker. The life path number 5 is someone that craves stability, but bitch, you ain't got it. This number is very prone to like addiction, making a lot of changes, a lot of traveling, a lot of freedom, a lot of career changes. Maybe you can't keep a job as the life path number 5 because, again, you're a freedom seeker. You don't like to be held down. So someone that I see for life path number 5 as far as career, maybe you want to be a flight attendant, or maybe you just want a career where you don't have to be tied down or boggled down. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a life path number 5, read up on this life path number, because again, I understand you don't really want like a job, but you need a job, bitch. You need a job. Because, you know, the type of society that we live in, you need a job. But there's a job out there for everyone. So like I said, you might need a job where there's change every day. Unlike life path number 4, you don't need that same mundane shit every day. You like a change. You know, that actually tickles your fancy. But like I said, you also like pleasure. That's a good thing about you too, is because life path number 5, it engages all of the 5 senses. So you're someone that's really in the moment, that really enjoys, like, you know, talking to people and being curious about certain things. So this can be you can have a really exciting career as the life path number 5. So again, read up on life path number 5, see what careers fit someone who likes change every day. Like I said, you like being in the air, I work for Delta, not Spirit, bitch, but I work for Delta. Flight attendant. Okay. All right. Moving on. I blow my nose. So now we have life path number 6. So life path number 6, kind of similar to life path number 2. Life path number 6 is the nurturer, but life path number 2, you know how life path number 2 we said is the mother? Life path number 2 more so focuses on the family. So life path number 1 is the father. Life path number 2 is the mother. Life path number 3 is the child. But what's 1 plus 2 plus 3? 6. And 6 equals the family. So we got we have father, mother, and child. That equals life path number 6, which is about the family unit. I hope that makes sense. This life path number is very community centered, very people oriented, very acts of service, humanitarian. This life path number kind of reminds me of Virgo. You are here to serve. And you know, this is a very important number too, because you are the humanitarian. You are here to help people. Maybe think about a field in social work, maybe therapy, family therapy, just anything that will help the community. Your career is community. So if you relate to that, life path number 6, community. Life path number 7, which is me, my fave. Life path number 7, you are the truth seeker. The truth seeker. You seek knowledge. We're extremely analytical, and we do a lot of research. Life path number 7 is the most spiritual number. It's a very, very spiritual number. So life path number 7, we ask the hard questions. We're asking the questions that most people aren't thinking about. We're going beneath the surface. While everybody is wondering what they're going to eat for dinner, we're wondering where we go when we die. Okay, truth is what drives the life path number 7. And that's why I really love this number, because it resonates with me. Ever since I was a kid, I've always just been a little weird in a good way, but like, you know, I just always wondered certain things at a very young age, a lot of esoteric topics. I mean, hell, that's why I'm even doing this podcast, because I like to talk about shit that I'm curious about, that I want to know about, and I want to know the truth about it. It's a little lonely sometimes being a life path number 7, because, you know, the whole crowd can be thinking about one thing and can have an idea about something, but we behind the scenes like, I don't think so. We like to go deep. We like to do the research. We like to do the fucking knowledge. Shout out to Deontay Kyle, Grits and Eggs podcast, Do the Knowledge. We like to do the knowledge. We like to do the research. We like to ask the bigger questions. And if you're life path number 7, welcome. Life path number 7 people, we tend to be in media. Because we are the ones asking the questions. We are the journalists. We are the researchers. A lot of scholars, a lot of anthropologists, and just a lot of people in academia tend to be life path number 7. So again, if you are a life path number 7, you are probably a complete geek for knowledge and for information, no matter what it's about, whether it's space, aliens, media, culture. See, I am a geek when it comes to Black culture and why we do what we do. Also, human behavior. I love talking about human behavior. It's just so interesting to me. And some of my favorite people are life path number 7, So, like, go on Google, find out who's life path number 7. And and even some of my like friends that like I know that like to talk about the same things as me are life path number 7 as well. Life path number 7 is lit. Now I will say, as a life path number 7, like I said, sometimes it can be lonely and isolating because we are very deep people, and sometimes people don't get us. And a lot of times what we do, we learn information and we take it in and we use it for self, but our job is to learn information and share it. So that's what I'm doing now. It took me years, but that's why we here. That's what we doing. So life path number 7, you are here to share the knowledge, share the information. Shit. Okay. Life path number 8. Okay, life path number 8, you are the powerhouse, leadership, CEO, money, influence. That is what life path number 8 is about. So life path number 8, you are meant to be top dog, boss, executive. But 8 is a very karmic number. 8 is the number of karma. So while it is pretty much destined for you to be top dog and the boss and the leader of whatever you want to do, you have to be very careful because what you put out, you will receive back. So there's a lot of responsibility on life path number 8. Your purpose is to basically run shit. Like, you kind of have an authoritative presence, and that's a gift. That's a gift because people just naturally listen to you. It's, kind of similar to life path number 1, but not really. But like, people just naturally fall in line. You ain't my daddy, bitch. I'm big mama. You're big mama. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you are responsible with that. Next, we have life path number 9. Oh, life path number 9 is so sweet because life path number 9 is like kind of like the final number before the master numbers that I was telling you all about. So life path number 9 is about universal love. It's kind of like the sign of Pisces. So Pisces is the sign that has a lot of wisdom. So as if you're a life path number 9, you probably have a lot of wisdom, whether you're young, old, you just naturally know shit and you have a lot of wisdom. A lot of people probably come to you like as a mentor. Maybe you're like a coach in sports. You're just someone that people naturally look up to. And I know it may sound like whatever, but not a lot of people have that. So if you're a life path number 9, think about mentorship. Think about just being an asset to other people. Life path number 9, again, is about universal love, about being a humanitarian. And I know, like I said, it sounds similar to some of the other numbers, but there are distinct differences. So life path number 9, wisdom, coaching, that's all that life path number 9 is about. Last but not least, I want to get into the master numbers. So if you calculate your life path number and if you get number 11, 22, or 33, leave it. Do not make it a single digit like I was saying before. Just leave it. Because if you get 11, 22, or 33, that means that you have a master number. If you have a master number, you basically have more of a heightened responsibility. These numbers carry high spiritual potential and responsibility and influence. So life path number 11 is the visionary. Some of the themes for 11 are intuition, inspiration, spirituality, and creativity. I believe Michael Jackson was a life path number 11. Life path number 22, visionary, leadership, practical, achievement, legacy. This is more of a strategic life path number. Strong work ethic, ability to create lasting impact. It's more structured. It's more structured than 11, but it's still deeply spiritual. And then life path number 33 is about compassion, healing, service, and unconditional love. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into the master numbers because a lot of these numbers, like a lot of the qualities in the master numbers, I have kind of already talked about in the numbers 1 through 9. But if you are a life path number 11, 22, and 33, congratulations, you that girl, or you that nigga, because those are very high, very highly spiritual number. So, like I said, I'm not an expert on all of this, but this podcast episode was just to introduce y'all to numerology. But more so, fuck the numbers, right? Fuck the numbers. It's really not about the numbers for me. For me, it's more so about introducing to you different energies that can give you the language to understand what type of career you can have in this life. You know, so that's kind of what I got to say about that. Life path numbers, I encourage you to do more research. I really resonate with my life path number. So if any of this resonates with you, I suggest that you look more into it. And again, use these life path numbers to see who you resonate with and who you can work together with in your career to propel your career. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Now that we got that out the way, let's have some fun. I want to do my song of the day. You know what my song of the day is? Just got my clothes from the cleaner. You know everything pinker, you know everything twinkle. I'm looking for a pleaser. Hey, can you tell me, have you seen him? Tell me that I need him. You know everything pinker. Mona Leo, come to the front. Come to the front. Come to the front, Mona Leo. Mona Leo, you never fail to amaze me. How do you make a song about pink? And it's a hit. Mona Leo is me in rapper form. Like, if I chose to be a rapper, that's exactly who I would be. Pink, mink, pink, drink, pink. Girl, you was in that booth going off about pink. And the passion that Mona Leo has for pink, I have that exact passion for pink. I love pink, bitch. Pink is just an amazing color. And I'm just so glad that my favorite rapper made a song about my favorite color. Just got my clothes from the cleaner. Hey, and then in the video, she did like a little tribute to Beyonce's Checkup on It. Love that. I just love Mona Leo. Like, damn, 10s across the boards. Like, she's going up for me. She just never, my good sis never fails to disappoint me. Shout out to Mona Leo. All right, cousins. That's all I have for y'all. Let me know how you enjoyed this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, talk to me in the comments, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Just got my clothes from the cleaners. Hey.